Excellencies, esteemed parliamentarians, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to address you today as we stand at the transformative moment in ocean governance. On 19th June this year, the United Nations adopted a historic agreement under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biological diversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction, known as the BBNJ Agreement. In an age in which we often hear about the demise of multilateralism, the adoption of this agreement demonstrates the continued strength of the common will to protect and sustainably use the ocean. After nearly 20 years of discussions, this agreement is the first comprehensive and cross-sectoral ocean treaty in decades. It provides tools to strengthen the management of activities in over two-thirds of the ocean, a vast area that belongs to no single state, but is humanity's shared responsibility. The agreement represents a collective path towards improving the health and resilience of marine ecosystems. It is also a path towards greater equity in benefiting from and participating effectively in ocean activities. Given the urgency of taking action to reverse the decline in ocean health, I am pleased that the agreement has been signed by over 80 states since it opened for signature in September. The BBNJ agreement becomes the third implementing agreement of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The convention, which was adopted over 40 years ago, is often called the Constitution for the Ocean and remains the legal framework for all ocean activities. The Convention establishes various maritime zones and defines the rights and obligations of states in those zones. And the two areas beyond national jurisdiction, which are the focus of the BBNJ agreement, are the high seas and the international seabed area. Several organizations have competence over specific sectoral activities in those zones, such as fishing, shipping, or seabed mining. Up to now, however, there was limited coordination in implementation and some gaps, leaving cumulative impacts of human activity on ecosystems largely unaccounted for. The BBNJ agreement significantly strengthens the prospects for the effective and cross-sectoral governance of areas beyond national jurisdiction. The BBNJ agreement addresses four key elements. First, the agreement provides for the fair and equitable sharing of benefits from activities with respect to marine genetic resources of areas beyond national jurisdiction. Marine genetic resources are materials of marine plant, animal, microbial, or other origin which contain functional units of heredity or value. Marine genetic resources have many potential valuable uses, from biomedication to medicine, and are a growing area of research, including in the biotechnology sector. The agreement seeks to address the imbalance in states' capacity to access and carry out research and development in this respect. It does so by providing for obligations to share both monetary and non-monetary benefits. Second, the agreement provides for procedures for the establishment and implementation of area-based management tools, including marine protected areas. These are essential tools to manage sectors of activities within a geographically defined area in order to achieve particular conservation and sustainable use objectives. Such measures, which may include restricting certain activities, are vital for protecting and restoring ecosystems and strengthening resilience to stressors, including those related to climate change. To the extent that certain existing bodies have competence to establish sectoral area-based management tools, the agreement envisages consultations and cooperation with such bodies. Third, the agreement elaborates on obligations under the Convention relating to environmental impact assessments. The potential impacts on the marine environment of planned activities will have to be assessed before such activities are authorized to proceed. The agreement establishes processes, thresholds, and other requirements to that end. Under the agreement, potential cumulative impacts and impacts in areas within national jurisdiction will have to be considered as part of those processes. Finally, the agreement contains significant provisions on capacity building and the development and transfer of marine technology. These provisions aim to ensure that all states can effectively implement their obligations. Parties are required to cooperate in assisting other parties to achieve the agreement's objectives through capacity building and the development and transfer of marine technology. Modalities for doing so are provided. Significantly, dedicated funding sources for such capacity building are established under the agreement, and this is expected to level the playing field for states to participate in and benefit from ocean activities and govern ocean space effectively. The agreement also establishes a funding mechanism and sets up various institutional mechanisms to support states parties in realizing its aims. Taken as a whole, this new agreement strengthens ocean governance in several aspects. First, the agreement fills certain regulatory gaps or addresses gray areas, for example, with regard to marine genetic resources and marine protected areas. It does provide regulatory certainty for both states and private actors involved in different sectors. Second, it provides mechanisms for cross-sectoral cooperation, promising profound impacts on reshaping ocean governance towards more integrated and holistic approaches. Third, the agreement also recognizes ecological connectivity, thereby acknowledging the ocean as a continuum and the need for coherence between measures within and beyond national jurisdiction. Fourth, the agreement makes a turning point in the recognition of the role of traditional knowledge of indigenous peoples and local communities in global ocean governance processes, as this is given prominence alongside other scientific information under the agreement. Participation of other relevant stakeholders, including civil society, the scientific community, and the private sector, is also embedded in the agreement. Before I conclude, allow me to highlight some of the benefits that may be derived from becoming a party to the agreement. The first benefit is a collective one, and that is enhanced conservation and sustainable use of marine biodiversity, resulting in improved health and resilience of the ocean. The agreement will be most effective with universal participation. But states also stand to benefit individually. Becoming a party to the agreement opens up opportunities to get a share in the benefits from activities with respect to marine genetic resources, as well as from increased cooperation in capacity building and transfer of marine technology, including strong and funded capacity building. In addition, only parties to the agreement will be able to participate in decision-making of the Conference of Parties. Such decisions will range from modalities from the sharing of monetary benefits from activities with respect to marine genetic resources to measures which may place restrictions on certain activities through the establishment of area-based management tools, including marine protected areas, and to elections of members of the various bodies established under the agreement. Of course, the agreement also comes with obligations, including to exercise the necessary jurisdiction and control to ensure that its provisions are implemented and enforced, and to contribute to the budget to be decided upon by the Conference of the Parties. However, assistance will be available for those states with limited capacity. Before I conclude, allow me to emphasize in the footsteps of the Secretary-General of the United Nations the critical importance of seeing this agreement enter into force as soon as possible. Our ocean, our planet, and our livelihoods are under severe strain, including from the triple planetary crisis of climate change, pollution, and biodiversity loss. The effective implementation of this agreement will be key in tackling that three-pronged threat. It will also assist in reaching global ocean-related goals and targets, including those under the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Rapid entry into force on as universal a basis as possible must be the aim, and I trust that we can rely on your support in this endeavor. The United Nations, and my office in particular, stands ready to assist in that regard. Thank you.